The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Nebraska, Mr. Bacon, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to recognize the men and women of the Nebraska National Guard. Whether it's a natural disaster in Nebraska, elsewhere in the United States, or doing combat operations in the Middle East, the Nebraska National Guard is willing, ready, and to assist those in need and poised to fight our nation's wars. The Army National Guard has approximately 3,500 soldiers stationed throughout Nebraska. And the Air National Guard has approximately 950 airmen. Joining us today in Washington are 60 of those soldiers and airmen. The Nebraska National Guard is made up of selfless and courageous men and women who continue to make Nebraska and the nation proud through their rescue and assist efforts and during times of crisis. The Army National Guard has over 80 units throughout Nebraska. These guardsmen are also called citizen soldiers, and they respond to national disasters in the state and around the nation. There are two National Guard units, Air National Guard units in Nebraska, the 155th Air Refueling Wing in Lincoln and the 170th Group located at Offutt Air Force Base. The 155th Wing is responsible for refueling aircraft worldwide, while the 170th Group provides support to the 55th Wing by training airmen, conducting worldwide missions for our nation. In addition, they've become a premier example of total force integration between the active duty Air Force and the Air National Guard. And in my 30 years in the Air Force, this is the best active duty National Guard relationship that I've seen. I think it's the best in the nation. Since September 11th, the Nebraska National Guard has deployed over 10,000 soldiers and airmen. The Guardsmen not only provide assistance to the United States, but throughout the world. There are dozens of Nebraska soldiers deployed to Guantanamo Bay, supporting detainee operations, and next year, Nebraska Air National Guard will deploy to key locations in the Pacific and Middle East. Most recently, members of the Nebraska National Guard deployed to Texas, Florida, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands to assist with their hurricane relief efforts. The Nebraska National Guard rescued 461 people and 22 pets, and they served 6,000 pounds of bottled water, 3,000 pounds of food, and 1,000 pounds of medical supplies to the people of Texas. In response to Hurricane Irma, 102 Guard members were in Florida providing aviation task force for support operations. And currently, there are 58 soldiers and airmen providing support to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. These efforts range from rescuing people to cleaning up the St. Croix Ricardo Richards Elementary School. The Nebraska National Guard's value to Nebraskans and across the nation cannot be understated. Our soldiers and airmen risk their lives to save our neighbors in need. I thank the Nebraska National Guard for their service to the nation, and Nebraska and all Nebraskans are proud of their service. I yield back the remainder of my